Okay, today we're going to be doing a tutorial on Sam Fender's new song, which is Winter Song. This is a re-release of a Lindisfarne track, and one I'd never heard, to be fair. Not that I follow Lindisfarne massively, but they're a northeast based folk band, and ironically not from Lindisfarne, I don't think, which is just north of where I live. So yeah, we're just going to cover off the song itself. Dead easy to play, to be honest. If you're a beginner, don't be too alarmed. The song's in standard tuning and it's just in the normal key, so there's no capo or anything, and we're going to be playing some kind of more open, Christmassy, airy chords, and I'll talk you through what they are. First of all, we're going to play a bit of the song, which actually consists of all the chords that you're going to need to know, and then I'll explain how to play it. So here we go.
When winter's shadowy fingers first pursue you down the street, and your boots no longer lie about the cold around your feet, do you stir a thought for summer whose passage is complete, whose memories lie in ruins, and whose ruins lie in heat? When winter comes howling in, when the wind is singing strangely, blow music through your head.
And so that is a run through of the song and obviously the chords. We'll go to the outro later because there's an E-7 chord you have to hold for a little while, which is a bit odd for timing. So the first chord we're going to show you how to play basically is a transition between two chords which are both open chords, which is D suspended 2, and this one is called G6 suspended 2, I think. And the names are irrelevant, to be honest, but as long as we know how to play them. And the strings you're going to need to focus on. So we've got first of all, the ring finger needs to go onto the B string at the 3rd, and then you're going to put this index finger on the G string at the 2nd. What we're going to do for the first chord is just rest this middle finger over the A and the E string, which are the top 2 strings. That just allows the shape to sound out a little better. If you just play it all open, it just sounds terrible. So you need to mute those kind of top 2 strings. And muting them is just a case of just resting your finger lightly over them, and that'll just stop them dead, so they won't ring out. So here we go. So that's the 2 chords we're going to work through. So we've explained the first chord. The next chord's dead easy. It's just using the bass note of a G chord, which this middle finger that we've got held over the E string anyway is then just going to be pushed down. Also still just muting the A string, so it's dead easy. So we're going to go from this to this. And it just sounds like a nice rich but open G chord. It's worth knowing this is just my interpretation, by the way, so I'm sure somebody might come across it and say I'm wrong, but it sounds well with the song, and if you just want to play it, then it's not a bad place to start. So yeah, we're going to go through those 2 chords. So in terms of strumming patterns, it's quite difficult to explain because it's quite casual. Really what I'm focusing on is hitting some bass notes twice throughout playing that pattern. So you'll notice when I'm playing it, it's hit the bass note, I'm just trying to emphasize it here and slow it down slightly for you. So you really want to try and focus on hitting those bass notes twice. Otherwise, you're just going to end up with a very flat sounding, I suppose, a version of the song. So now we've gone through those two chords. That makes up the bulk of the verse. But then we get to this section here, which, if I get it right, about
Your feet. Do you spare a thought for summer whose passage is complete?
so that section there is a combination of three chords, which is G6 and I call this one D over F because it seems that everybody seems to call it D over F, but I looked it up and it's got a really long name, so I can't be bothered to tell you what the name is. And then we've got an E minor 7. So really quite open strings, open sound, and dead easy to play. So the next chord we're going to go to is G6. Now all we're doing, if you remember, we're going from this D shape to the G bass note, and then we're going to move this index finger up just to complement the G chord and give it a more full G chord sound. And then we're going to play that, go to this D over F. Now all I'm doing here is moving my middle finger down to the G string at the second and putting my index finger on the E string at the second. And then we're going to go to E minor 7, which is just two strings being held down, and that is the index fingers now on the A string at the second, and we've still got our B string held down at the third. So it'll go like this. I'll do it again. So on these chords, obviously hit your bass notes again. And then on the E minor 7, you want to try and focus on hitting this E string at the top, which is open, as well as got interrupted there. As well as obviously playing on as well as playing the actual string you're holding down, but try and focus on hitting that bass note, because that'll help the E minor 7 chord come out a bit more. It's quite a dark chord. And so that's it. And then when we get to when winter is howling in, so all you're going to do there is just lead straight back into that D-shaped chord. So when it's obviously when winter, then it's comes like howling in, and then you go straight back into that D shape. Really throughout the song you hear this those notes together sound out throughout the whole song, so that's kind of what you're focusing on maintaining. Towards the end then we have like an outro where you have to hold, they suspend a chord for longer than So on that bit we're just going for the E minor. But I think probably what sounds better if you're playing by yourself is just tailing that chord off and not playing it as much towards the end. It's held for quite a long time. Even eyeballsed it up there. Got to keep holding it, hold it. So yeah, that E minor note chord at the end, you hold for an awful long time. I'm not musical in any way, but I'd assume whatever it is, it's like nearly twice and a bit, maybe in terms of bars or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of the song covered. There's not really a lot else to it. Obviously, if you've got any more questions or you want to know anything, just let me know. And best of luck playing the song. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope you got something from it. And I'll try and have a go at the piano one next, I think, as I've learned it on piano, so I should be able to share the chords and stuff with you. Okay, thanks very much.